Hello and welcome. This is the Astrology of the Week Ahead podcast, and I am your host, Chani Nicholas. In this episode, we are talking about the week of February 20th, but I don't want to miss something that happens on February 19th for those of us in the Pacific time zone. So on February 19th at 11:06 p.m. PT, the new moon in Pisces occurs. So for everybody else, we're talking about the 20th of February. And this new moon is really sweet. It doesn't have like a ton of things going on, although it is happening in a moment where there is a big change. But in regards to the moment this new moon occurs, we've got the sun, the moon, Venus, and Neptune all huddled together in Pisces, not close together. They're kind of like this. They're kind of like apart from each other, but we've got them still in the same sign as each other. And so the moment of the new moon is filled with a lot of love and sweetness and idealism. And so I'd love for you with this new moon to think about what has felt like it's been in flow for you, what dreams you have, what love you have been able to experience, and what you've been able to connect to in regards to like beauty and art and pleasure and adoration over the past couple of weeks. I'm saying that because Venus has been in Pisces for the last couple of weeks, and last week on February 15th, it made that conjunction with Neptune that is super idealistic and really sweet, if not completely derailing in terms of wanting more and more and more pleasure. But since we've got the new moon on the heels of that, that sentiment is still floating through the air. And so this is just a really beautiful new moon to dream with and to know that the potent part of it is in our imagination. So think about what's flowing in your life, what's felt sweet over the past couple of weeks, where connection has really helped you to heal something, and what you're seeding in the area of your life, in the area of your chart that contains Pisces. We go over that in your reading for the week on the Chani app. And the other big news of the week is that Venus is moving into Aries, like right after the new moon. So basically right at the top of Monday, February 20th, Venus is in Aries. And this is an important moment for the beginning of 2023. It's not like the biggest thing that happens in 2023, but it definitely leads us into something that, again, feels like a really important piece of Venusian learning and Venusian lessons, which is to say, there's something here about love and connection that we're talking about. Now, I will say that Venus goes from this place of being exalted in Pisces, where it's like up on high and everybody loves you, the situation. And then Venus goes into Aries, and it's like it's like it goes from being exalted into a place that is said to be its exile. So feeling that sensation of being in exile or being exiled from something, that's what Venus in Aries denotes, because it is a sign that is opposite to where it's has its home. So Venus has its home in Libra, and when it's in Aries, it's in the opposite place. So we say it's in its exile or it's in its detriment. So it's starting from a place that's like, oh, this is really foreign to me. I don't really love it. I was just up there and now I'm down here. However, this is a very different Venus in Aries moment, because Venus is about to run into Jupiter. Venus is a planet of love and connection and pleasure and beauty, and Jupiter is a planet of abundance and wisdom and bounty and faith and optimism and expansion. And when those two things come together, the two benefic planets, the two planets that bring good in some way or bring ease. I always say that they both bring some kind of opening or relaxation, or like, okay, things are working. And whenever things work, we feel like, oh, maybe I can exhale. So that sensation is what Venus and Jupiter end up causing to some degree. Now, they're both in Aries as of February 20th. And Aries is not a sign that likes to relax. Aries charges forward. Aries is inspired. Aries is about action. Aries is about discovering who we are in stressful situations that demand our best to come forth and teach us what it is we can actually do because we had to. We had no other choice. You can call it courage, but is it really courageous if you have to do the thing in order to survive? That's where Aries thrives, right? Aries loves some drama, loves a little appropriate stress, loves to begin something new. That's why Venus, in some way, shape, or form, struggles a little bit in Aries, because Venus is about ease and pleasure and connection, and Aries is always doing something new and getting impatient. So Venus in Aries is bold and daring, and it's about to meet up with not only Jupiter, but also Chiron. So the three of them are going to rendezvous in Aries at the very beginning of March. So Venus is going to make a conjunction to Jupiter on March 1st. If you have the Astro Planner, it's in there. Venus is going to conjunct Chiron on March 3rd. And then Jupiter is going to conjunct Chiron on March 11th. So those first 11 days of March are really interesting in terms of healing, because Chiron is involved, opportunity because Jupiter is involved, and something that is good or sweet or brings about some optimism and connection, and something that feels like it is supportive because it's a Venus-Jupiter conjunction. So it's really activating our ability to understand a wound, Chiron, but in a way that feels a lot easier than normal, or a lot more inviting, or like it's deepening our wisdom because Jupiter is involved. So this is something that we're moving towards. It's not happening all this week, obviously, but as Venus makes this entrance into Aries, we're getting set up to live through the first part of March, which again, March is full of tons of change because Saturn is changing signs and Pluto is changing signs, and then Mars is finally changing signs after 7 months in Gemini. So in and through those changes, we've got this Venus-Jupiter and Venus-Chiron and Jupiter-Chiron coming together in Aries. So it feels like an activation of the self, a healing possibly of the self, and a healing of or through our courage. So the question is, what do I need to rally my courage to do that would support my healing and also support the best of me to come forth and to lead and charge forward in the area of my life that I need to? How can I help to spur myself into healing action and into action that will bring about connection and even possibly my own wisdom or self-expansion in some way? Then the other astrology that's happening this week is very minor, but still important. On Tuesday, the 21st, Mercury is making a square to Uranus. Loud conversations, kind of big or discombobulating, unexpected data info, details coming to the surface. And then on Wednesday, Mercury makes a trine to Mars, which is also something that gets our attention and is here to make a point, but it's easier, right? So it does feel like Tuesday, Wednesday brings about some really important conversations, things that pique our interest, maybe get us a little defensive, maybe open us to a new way of seeing things. Maybe we are the ones delivering that info. Maybe that info is coming towards us. But the most important thing is that we're now in this Venus moving towards Jupiter buildup and Chiron being in the mix. So if you're curious about where that's happening for you, we have a 2023 guidebook that is available as a PDF. We have readings in the Chani app. We have a year ahead reading. We have a weekly reading. And we also have the Astro Planner that tells you about this and gives you some little rituals to work with. So any or all of those things are there to support you, but really just thinking about what kind of courage is being asked of me. How am I finding healing through my relationships? And what am I inspired to take action on or around in regards to healing, relationship, and some kind of expansion? Thank you all so much for leaving reviews in the App Store. We read each and every one. I wanted to leave you with this one. It's called Chani FTW, for the win, I assume. I am so grateful for Chani and the whole team at the Chani app. Seriously, the readings are so spot on for me and are also affirming in so many ways. The meditations help me center myself and ease my mind when I need some respite. I am here for all things on the Chani app. Also, I couldn't write a review without saying how much I love and adore the designs. Kudos to the whole team. Heart emoji. All right, y'all. Sending you lots of love, many blessings. I will meet you back here next week. Bye for now.